If you know what you want to do and like, if you think you're gonna be the best, I mean, there's a chance
You
it will
will
work out.
become.
But if you're actually enjoying the process, you'll be there quicker than you expect yourself to be. It's also important to have fun, right? So if you're doing the process,
Yeah.
if you have fun, it becomes easier.
The future belongs to the young and the bold. Join me as we explore the thoughts, aspirations, and ambitions of the next generation on my youth channel, Say Something with Mads. And today, indeed, it's a special day. I have a guest whom I have been following for so long to come on my channel, and finally, here he is, Sarvagya. Sarvagya, hi, how are you doing?
Hello, ma'am. I'm doing amazing. How are you doing? Thank you so much for having me here.
I'm doing good because I'm interviewing you today. So we have Sarvagya Kulshsheshtra. He's
Yeah.
joining me right now. He's in Delhi, but he is studying in BITS Mesra. But
Yes.
why he's here is because of his unique achievements, and it's amazing. We will hear it about this throughout the interview. He's three times Guinness World Record holder in solving Rubik Cube in the fastest possible time in the lightning speed. So I think this is going to be an inspiration for many young people who are into cubing, as they say. I'm very bad at it, so I will leave it to Sarvagya to take us through the journey. All right. Sarvagya, first of all, what does this name mean? It's a beautiful name, and I think it befits you. So, and tell about your journey from your education, where you are, what are you doing right now, and a
Okay.
little bit about you to the audience.
So, well, Sarvagya means सब कुछ जानने वाला, जिसको सब कुछ पता है. So, the one who knows
Bilkul.
about everything. And like about me, I'm just right now. I'm a 19-year-old. I'm 19 years old. I'm in my second year of college. I'm studying economics and data science from BIT Mesra, Birla Institute of Technology. And like a little bit about me is like I'm someone who likes trying new things and seeing where they lead me. So I try to like try as many things as I can, and then a few of them have stuck around and like they've helped me grow. So when I find that thing, I go after it. I try to do as good as I can, and then that's pretty much about it. And like I'm originally from Gurgaon. That's where I live. So yeah.
But I was listening to your TED talk and you were so confident and I amazing to ask. I want to ask this question specifically because you just now said you were preparing for your next second TED talk. And how is this TED journey all about? Like what when they approached you? Take us to the journey of the first TED talk. When did it happen? How did you prepare? What did you learn out of it? What went well? What didn't go well? How was the all preparation? Everything.
Okay, so my first TED talk happened in December 2022. What happened was I saw a link, there were speaker nomination forms, and giving a TED talk was something I always wanted to do, but it seemed far-fetched to me. But then once I got the world records, I was like, okay, I think I can do it. So I filled out the form and then I was contacted by someone. So they told me about the entire process of like of giving a TED talk. Like it shouldn't be about you and your achievements, rather than it should be about you giving something to the audience, because that's what makes sense, right? The audience aren't there to listen about you and what you've done. So then it was a process of me writing the script. So that was a very tedious process, like because we have to write the script such that people actually take away something from it. So I wrote like 6 to 7 drafts of the scripts. I used to like sit for the whole night. I used to send it. It wasn't approved. Then I used to write something else. I used to like, for either it was too much about me or there was too little about me, and I like, so it took me like 6 to 7 drafts. It was a very tedious process, but I wanted it so bad that I was able to work. I was complaining. So I wrote the script, and like after like writing the script and finalizing that version was probably the toughest part. So after multiple iterations and multiple rounds of me going through stuff, removing stuff, adding stuff, I like sent when I sent the seventh script for approval, I was like, I hope this one gets approved. And then thankfully that got approved. And then after that, it was like then came the part of preparing for the talk, because I had never like spoken in front of such a large audience. Like the first public speaking thing I did was a TED talk. Generally, it's the
Oh,
other way around. Like people like start from somewhere else and then they give a TED talk. But I did a TED talk, so I had to practice for it. I talked to as many people as I could. I like connected with. other people I knew who had given TED talks, taken help from
Mm,
them. And then
mm,
I got everyone, like I got all my friends who were into content writing and stuff. I got them on a call. I was like, help me write this script. And like one friend, he stayed with me on a Zoom call for 6 hours one day. We both were just writing the script. So and then we wrote the script. Then it came to me memorizing it, so I had to make sure it's flawless. I was because I didn't want to read from somewhere else and it should be like I wanted to make sure it's perfect, so I made sure I went through every word, I remembered it. Then after remembering it, the next step was execution, because I have to make sure I'm speaking in such a way that it's engaging for the audience. The audience is actually taking something out of it. So that was another process. I then one day before the talk, I went to the venue to see how the stage is, get a feel of the stage, to practice over there. So I did that. And then even my TED talk, I wanted to make it interesting. So I had a segment in which I was solving the Rubik's Cube. And then while solving that, I am like comparing it with life. Like what I say is
mm.
sometimes in life, everything will seem all over the place, but with
Yes.
some time and effort, the pieces will simply fall into place. And while I do this, I'm solving the Rubik's Cube. So that was something like which people took away from my talk. Like it was like when you do
Yeah.
something while you're speaking, people like generally pay attention to it. Right. So that was that. And then I practiced. And then on the day of the TED talk, I was super nervous. Like before, I was the second speaker, right? So I did not hear a single word what the first speaker said because I was so nervous and feeling
Wow.
in my head.
Oh, I can imagine the excitement and nervousness. Yes.
Yeah, and then when I went on stage for like the first 10, 20 seconds, I was so scared. My legs were shaking. But then when I was there, I realized that I cannot go from here and then might as well enjoy it. So when I got into it, I was actually enjoying it, made me feel more confident. I remember that I'm there for a reason. So that's like I went through it and then it went amazingly well. And since then, like I like then public speaking is like become a new grown hobby of mine. Like I love going on stages and speaking. So like at first, I couldn't
Wow.
imagine myself because my legs were literally shaking. I was there, I remember, but now I can go and speak in front of audiences. So yeah, that was like the entire journey of my TED talk.
You have beautifully put it, and I can go through that emotion when you said that it was your first time and your TED talk. I was going to ask you this where you said it. You wrote
Yeah.
the whole thing and you memorized. You have a very sharp memory. I think you have a brain which can store words and all. So you are blessed by that. But what if people can't remember every line, every word? So, what is the other technique to do this? I think if I'm there, I won't be able to remember. There are techniques, right?
Yeah, there are techniques like you could like what I did because I wrote it, so I knew what I've written and it was about me, so I knew what I said. Then the other thing is like you could form some kind of story because visual like you'll be able to recall visual stuff easier. You can form some kind of story from like the first two words and like make acronyms and
Okay.
then you could go
Mm.
from there. But I like remembered it and like when I have longer talks right now, what I do is like I have one paper which has my entire script and another paper which will just have the points, like the points of the first para, first word of the para. So as soon as I see that, I know what I'm about to say. So that was it.
That's very inspiring because I think all of us want to speak on stage. There is some, वो कीड़ा रहता है एक बार स्टेज में सबके सामने बोलना है और बड़े स्टेज में आई थिंक सबका रहता है
Hmm.
ये. So
Right.
some people get it early like you, and I am a teacher, so I got a lot of opportunity to speak to students on stage, but that's not same as speaking on in a TED platform. वो पीछे वो लिख के आता है ना TED, so that elevates everything. Oh my God. And you actually applied for it. So can I do it too if I apply?
Yeah, you can do it too. Like what generally happens is they reach out to you or and after they reach out to you they give you a form to fill because they have to reach out to a lot of speakers, right? And then they like choose
I will
speakers from there. And like
I
I'm
will try
super
my luck.
grateful for Prachi Jindal ma'am, the organizer of the event, because she saw it was something I wanted to do. That's why she even gave me chances to like write my script 6 or 7 times. Because if it was someone else,
Oh,
I don't think they would have waited. But she was there, and then like she made
oh,
it possible. Yeah. So
okay.
that was
This was in Ranchi.
no, it was in Delhi only.
What a journey! What an amazing journey, and it changed you a lot. I can when I saw the TED talk, I saw the first first line, second line, and versus when you went on,
Yeah,
and
the
it
last one.
always happens. The expression changed. You started enjoying, and
Yeah,
it
because
was effortlessly
yeah,
flowing.
once you start, you should like instead of like I've already started, so either I enjoy it or I'm scared, so might as well enjoy it, right?
You have started working on cube from a very young age. So how did it all start? Just take us to the story and about the
Okay.
practice. I want you to talk to the youth about the practice thing. How
Okay.
important?
So it started when I was like in 2015. It was the day before Diwali. So I had a cousin coming over.
Yeah.
So we were shopping for gifts. And I was at the toy shop. We were shopping for gifts for my cousin, but I was a kid, so I wanted a gift for myself. So I told my dad, Ki, I want to get that remote control helicopter. And then he said, Ki, you'll break a helicopter in 2 days. So like you should get this Rubik's Cube. And at first I was like, I mean, imagine telling a kid instead of getting this helicopter, you should get a plastic cube. And I was like, okay, this is boring. But then I scrambled it, like in solving it, like learning how to solve it was another process. Like I used to like I put hours and hours and hours into it. And then I saw myself making some progress. Then I was finally able to learn how to solve it. And then I started liking it, so I started doing it more. As did it more, I saw myself improving, right? And then I learned about competitions. I learned about competitive part of it.
What
So
is this? At what age is this? Which class you were in when you
I would
started
be
competitions?
seventh grade, seventh or eighth.
Seventh.
Yep. So
So you
then I
started
got.
going out in there were Rubik competitions they held.
Yeah, and that was also something which helped me a lot because it helped me like be extroverted, come go up to you, go up to random people and like talk to them and like makes you more confident, right? Because it was like at a point like my parents couldn't take me to a competition, they were busy. So what I did was I put it on the Cubing Facebook group. Is anyone going to this competition from Gurgaon? I'd love to go along. And then the thing is, if you ask, someone will be there to help you. And that is like
Mm.
Cubing helped me figure that out. So I and then most of the things if you just ask, we'll get them. And then like practice, you're saying practice is like if you see anyone who's good at the thing they are, it took years of practice. Like every overnight success is years into the making. So and like whenever we like let's say I'm good at one thing right now, but there was a point where I did not know that at all. So when you practice and then you should like have some kind of goal that I want to do this. So if you put in the hard work practice, so you'll be able to like and practice does like help you become better. So
Many a times it happens with me, it happens that so many things we try but we give up halfway,
yep,
because it's not happening, it's
right.
boring, it's not, I'm not moving forward. So it must have happened to you, right,
Yeah,
initially?
yes, it has happened. It does happen with a lot of things, but then like let's say it was boring, I didn't move, I didn't like to. Then that's where the community aspect came. Like a lot of years, I wasn't competing to win. I was competing just to have fun. And like
Okay.
now also when I'm at a good stage, people come up to me, they message me on LinkedIn that I want my cousin to improve. I want my younger brother to improve. So the thing I tell them is I didn't improve because I wanted to improve. I improved because I was having fun. And then after a point I saw
Yeah.
that I could improve. So yeah, that like 7 drafts,
So
yeah. So if you know what you want to do and like if you think you're gonna be the best, I mean, there's a chance
you
it will
will
work out.
become.
But if you're actually enjoying the process, you'll be there quicker than you expect yourself to be.
No, when did you realize that you have become that level that you checked out the Guinness record is this much and I'm doing it for a lesser time, so I might apply? वो कौन सा time था? Like which year was this?
It
How did
was,
it all happen?
so it was in 2019. So there was this Facebook group again, the Rubik's Cube Facebook group. So I saw another Indian broke another Guinness World Record. And I had met that person in competition. So we were around the same
Okay.
time. So I thought to myself, if he can break it, why can't I break one? Then I asked him, I messaged him. So he told me, go on the Guinness website, search Rubik's, you will find a lot of records. And then I found a few records. And then like there wasn't any like I could pick up today and I'll break it. There was one first record I attempted was fastest time to solve a Rubik's Cube while hula hooping. So the
While
recorded
hula hooping.
yeah. So the recorded that time was 25 seconds. I could solve a cube in around 15 seconds, but the thing was I didn't know how to hula hoop at all. I have never bought a hula hoop. So then I applied for the record. Then came the first task of me learning how to hula hoop. That took like 3, 4 months. Then the second task was picking up the cube while hula hooping, because if I picked up the cube, the hula hoop would fall. If and then after picking up the cube, I had to make sure it was below 25 seconds, right? So for the first few months, it was like if I was able to solve the cube, the time, because I was concentrating on hula hooping, the
Huh,
time
huh.
would be more than 25 seconds. So then I practiced for 2 3 months more, and then I came to a point where I was under like 15 seconds. So then I decided to like, okay, I can attempt the record. And then there was a Rubik's Cube competition, so that's where I attempted it, and then yeah, we broke it. The record I set
Okay,
at that time was 15.75 seconds.
timing is you did it while hula hooping.
Yeah, like simultaneously both
I
things.
didn't know this. Okay, okay, and you have to pick it up while you have to
Yes, like
the
you
cube
start
is
the
down on
timer.
the floor.
You start on the table. You start the timer. You start hula hooping. Then you pick up a cube. Then you solve the cube. You stop, and then you stop the timer, and you should still be hula hooping.
God. So you knew cubing, but how
Yeah,
did hula hooping? How much time it took to hula hoop?
it took me
Because
like
it's
2 3 months, and like I learned from YouTube. Everything I do, I learned from YouTube. YouTube people on YouTube. I learned how to solve a cube from hula
oh my
hoop.
God.
YouTube. Everything I do is YouTube. Like if I want to learn anything right now, I learned how to speak on stage through YouTube. So I would, like, you were telling me about a book which has a top TED talk. There was a video I watched. I used to watch different people. So everything I do, I learned from YouTube. So you can learn literally anything from there. Then I learned it from YouTube. I spent a lot of months practicing, but then I was like, again, when you practice, you will get better at it. So there was a time where I reached that stage.
It's beyond awesome. It's beyond imagination. You are solving cube while hula hooping. This two different, totally different body muscles are three brain, hand, legs movement, body movement. Oh my God, this is really great. So, what is it in next for you? What is your next
Next,
level of achievement? What you're thinking of doing after
next
this?
would be, so
Three
right
records.
now,
Okay, Sarvagya, first record. Why did you do three? Every year you apply for this?
no, like I apply, I have a lot of records in line. So one, because when you get one, like you shouldn't stop now. You should always aim for more. So then I went for two.
Okay, what was the second about?
It was solving a Rubik's cube while riding a bicycle.
Okay,
So
okay.
about that too, like that record, I attempted like 2 times. Like the first time I attempted it, someone beat me to it. So I wasn't the record holder. So that was like a failure, but people don't see that, right? They just see the wins. So then
Ah,
after, and that was like, that like sort of like demotivated me. Like I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I was like, I already have one, so why do I want to do it again? But then after a few months, I was like, okay, like why not give it another shot? I gave it another shot, and this time, thankfully, I was able to like break the record. So yeah, then it,
and the third one?
third one was fastest time to solve Pyraminx. Pyraminx is a different type of Rubik's cube, while
Yes, I was going to ask you that. So when we were growing up, I think when I was young, I'm talking about 70s. I think
yeah,
that's the time when Rubik Cube first came. It
right,
has changed the form. It changed a lot of. It
yeah.
is a cuboid now. It is also hexagonal in shape.
Yeah,
It is triangular in shape. How is it? Is it interesting that these shapes came up? What does it tell you about the evolving of cube? Now it's no more cube, right?
yeah, it's no work. You like people like when something comes up, people find new ways to like bring changes to it, and that's like what makes it fun. It isn't monotonous and like repetitive, right? When there are different types, you can practice different things, get better at different things. So yeah.
Sarvagi, you have also spoken about taking risk in life. You are a risk taker in everything in life.
Yeah, I mean, right now I like to take risks because I'm just 99, just starting out. So even if I fall, I won't like fall too far from where I am. And like I'd like to try as many things as I can. And so yeah, I am a risk taker.
Tell me about you have done a lot of interactions with people. You have spoken to young people. You have been on interviews. You have done TED Talk. Other than TED Talk, do you remember meeting some people, some young people, and they come up to you? What is their reaction when they see this? They idolize you. They write to you. What does it feel like? An elder brother, like somebody who is looking up to you. How does that mentoring thing? What is it like to feel
I
like a
mean,
mentor to many
yeah,
young people?
it's amazing honestly, because even if I have one person who comes up to me and says that I took something away from your talk, that makes my entire journey worth it. Like after writing the script for the 7 drafts, if someone did come up to me and they said, I loved your talk, like I resonated
Share
with
some
it.
incident,
Like
something.
right now, a few days ago, I got a message on LinkedIn when someone said, after watching your talk, my cousin started like solving the Rubik's Cube and like he was sort of inspired by it. And then another, like because when I was a kid, solving the
Mm.
Rubik's Cube, like people labeled me as a nerd, okay? And like kids don't like being labeled as nerd. But I said it's
Yeah.
okay. Now I have three Guinness World Records and they don't. So just keep doing what you love and it will eventually pay off. So yeah.
So, you are 19 and you are doing well, and people are come up to you. Do you have anybody special in your life right now? What about girlfriends?
No, I don't have a girlfriend as of now. Nope, I do not.
Just you said no very
Yeah,
like why
yeah,
you have
because
not chosen to have someone,
yeah,
or you think that that's not the time, this is
I
not the
mean,
time.
right now I don't really find myself. I find the need to have one because I want to focus on myself. I want to build myself first, and then I'll have someone else. And then so I like to put my work and my energy somewhere else rather than instead of a relationship. So I'm not looking for one right now. So I'm not in one right now.
Oh wow, you're very sorted. You said I will have a time for this later, but this is
Yeah,
not the
I
time.
mean, right now is the time for me to like figure out things about myself. I don't know what I want to do. So I like to figure out things. I want to grow myself. That's my priority right now.
What is the role of a hero in your life? Meant I would say whom you idolize. Is there somebody whom you look up to in your life? Who would that be?
My parents would be the people I look up to the most.
Oh,
They're the ones I go to when things aren't going right. They're the ones who have the solution for everything. So yeah, they're the people who
you
have
talk
helped
to
me
them
become who
about
I am.
everything.
Yeah,
We were talking about one of your favorite books or any podcast you are remembering you were going to
right.
share with us. So, what would
Yeah.
those be? What does Sarvagya, who is into a lot of things, who is very focused about his life, also which kind of podcast you will listen to? It would be very interesting for audience to know that. And any book recommendations.
Okay, so books, like I don't read much. I do try to read one or two books a month. One book like which is like stood out for me would be The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. So that is something like talks about writing your goals down, manifestation and things like how speaking it into existence. And I have seen it become true because like I wrote last year I'll have three Guinness World Record before 2023. I'll give a TED talk before 2023. And this was when I had nothing. I had one record and giving a TED talk was way out of the question. Then like if you put it out there and if you like do the work, the universe will align to make sure it happens. And like I like that book is something I love. I love revisiting it, reading it again. So that would be something. And podcasts, like I do like listening to podcasts. I listen to a lot of business related podcasts and like podcasts which have entrepreneurs on them to learn from them because entrepreneurship is something which I want to do. So I like to learn as much as I can from podcasts. And then one podcast like Joe Rogan has a lot of people on. So that's one I listen to. Yeah.
Lovely. Where do you see yourself 20 years from now? What would
21.
Sarvagya will be doing? You will be 39. So where will you be? What would you be doing? You have
20,
your
I'm not sure, but I'll be in a mansion somewhere. I'll be chilling. I'll be done financially. I won't have to worry about money and stuff. I'll be just having fun and doing as many things, traveling the world, I guess. Yeah.
Sarvagya, if you have to this line is something amazing. And my next question was this. If you have to write a book on Sarvagya right now, how you are, what would be the
Yeah.
title of the book?
Like trying and finding out would be something like trying and finding out,
Right. Okay,
figuring
great.
out.
Okay, let's moving on to the next question is if you have to meet
Yeah.
a historical character
Okay.
and whom you can question something, a question, what would the question be and whom would you want to meet?
Historical character. Okay. I'd say Steve Jobs.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
we all want to.
he bought a revolution. He like literally created a new segment. Because of him, it's like why we're in our phones the whole day.
Yeah,
So,
would
yeah,
like to meet him. True,
yeah.
lovely answer. All right. Another take on this, a little twist is if you have to be a person, who is alive, living right now. If you be a person for one day, change your life for a day with that person, who would that person be?
Mark Zuckerberg, like he controls social media. He has all the social media platforms in his hand. And then I'd like to see because I love the Social Network, the movie made on him. I love that movie. I've watched it like more than 10 times. I know every dialogue of it. So, like he's someone like I'd
True.
like to meet today. Yeah.
Yes. One gift
Hmm.
which you have to give to the whole world, what would that be? Every person in the world, but one gift.
Okay. And like like is it a realistic gift or is it like something like
It can be anything.
no hunger?
Your interpretation, not a physical gift, may not maybe
Yeah.
something gift of so and so.
I mean, if I could, I'd like to remove hunger or like health issues. Health issues is something like no one faces any health problems.
Gift of health, gift
Yeah,
of
we have.
happiness and health.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's something which we need all. You
Okay.
have to take three guests for a dinner.
Okay.
Who would those three guests be? You have not met them, and you
Yeah.
can't. You have ruled out Steve Jobs and Mark Zuckerberg.
Okay. I'd like to have Usain Bolt because I was into track.
Wow, interesting choice.
I
Yes.
like to have him. Michael Phelps, of course. Like either one from Usain Bolt or Michael Phelps. And then I'd like to have someone who's done good in the like a movie director like Christopher Nolan or someone. So I could like take the artistic side from the brain. And then another one would be I would like to have just because for my love of food I'll say I'll have to have Gordon Ramsay.
Oh yeah, your choices are so quirky and awesome. I think they're the best combinations. I've never heard a sports star. This question I asked to everybody, and it's fascinating. You have a sports star, you have a cook, a chef.
Yeah.
So, do you watch a lot of movies? Any favorite movies?
Yeah, I watch a lot of movies. The favorite movie would be Social Network. Like it's about Mark Zuckerberg. That would be one. And then I love Bollywood movies, Three Idiots, and then Munda Hai MBBS, and then all these movies. I'm a big fan of movies. So yeah, I watch them. I like not caught up on all of them, but like I watch the good ones to come out. The people say they're good, so I go and watch them.
All right, all right. So we are end of this talk show where we understood a lot of things about Sarvagya which we have not never seen even on TED Talk. So this is
Yeah.
one special talk show. Now is the time when you get to ask me a question. Let's see what you have for me.
Okay. One, I would like to know who is the three people you are inviting for a
Oh
day out.
wow, interesting. You are a smart guy. You have a question which I all right. Yeah, I would love to have Princess Diana.
Okay.
I love to have Sudha Murthy,
Okay.
and I love to have Jacinda Ardern or Michelle Obama.
Okay. That's a great choice. Yeah.
Yes, we are end of our show, and I would like you to ask, end it the way you want to end it with a maybe it's a message you want to give, maybe something a life lesson you want to give to the young people who are listening.
So to the parents, I'd like to say like let your child do whatever they want because my parents thankfully they never stopped me and like
Have faith.
I knew a point like I was smart enough to know where it's affecting my academics. So I used to study and then I got good marks. So like I knew what was right and what was wrong. And even if someone tells me don't do this, it'll only make me want to do it more. So if you tell your
Uh,
child don't do this, he or she will do it more. And then like children are smart, they know what to do like right now. Like and let them if like what if one person isn't good at one thing, there'll be 10 other things they're good at. Like what if they're not good academically? They will be better at like five other things, 10 other things. So let them try
mm,
out and to kids would be like I'd be like put your hands in as many places as you can because you never know what can end up working out for you. There will be times when like you fail, when things won't go according to plan, but if you keep working, there will be a point where you'll win, right? Life can be just downs, down, down. There will be a point where you'll face up. And failing is like equally as important as winning, right? Because it teaches you a lot. And then or you'll only get to enjoy the sense of winning when you know how failing feels. Otherwise, there's no point, right? So that would be something I'd like to say.
some. people don't like a particular subject. Like I said,
Yeah,
I can't do maths. It's so difficult for me, especially girls have this. Unfortunately, I have to say I was one of them. So is it about mindset, practice, or a good teacher? Sometimes it's a teacher who is makes or breaks the love for the subject. What do you think is
right.
the reason for people not liking a particular subject, hating it so much so that they just traumatized by it?
I mean, when I was in school, it was because of the teacher. So the teacher does play a big role to it. But like,
Yes,
still, you should like, like if there's the one thing isn't working out, try out another way, and like keep trying, finding ways which things, and eventually, if you try 10 things, one of them will end up working out. And like, because if you don't like a subject, we don't in India, we don't have the option to like just
choice. Yeah,
completely drop it, right? You have to be somewhat good at it, and it's okay to be somewhat good at it. You don't have to be perfect at everything. So yeah, people have phones too. I didn't have any phone till I was in college. Till 12th grade, I didn't have my phone. So that's something that's good. I mean, right now I know people cannot live without their phones, but if you want to try it out, you should try it out.
what?
Yeah.
What? You didn't have phone till 12th?
No, I didn't have a phone till 12th. I mean, I had a phone to talk to my friends and stuff, but no social
But
media.
not the smartphone to
Yeah.
see it.
I did
Oh,
have one too, and then, but I knew what was right if I needed to use social media or not. I mean, when we're in school, social media is just looking at the people you are hanging out with in school all day, and how can like what I thought was like I'm hanging out with them in school only, like
why do I
and
have to look at the
on online, and then when you leave social media, you'll also find out who your real friends are because a lot of people right now and when you're in school people think like they're my friends for life but at the day you delete your Instagram account you'll find out like only 2 or 3 people are going to message you. The rest of them are fake friends so you have to keep those real friends with you. Like I had friends who were like we like my best friend I've known
friends
her
for
since
life?
first grade.
True.
She's like my biggest supporter. She supports me in everything. So like you find out like keep the people you it's not necessary to be friends with everyone now large social. I mean it is good, but I don't have one, so I'm not gonna talk about it. Like keep the few friends you have close to you and then social media when we're in school it isn't that important at all. Like
True.
spending 3 hours on social media, like instead you could do 3 hours of anything you love.
Brilliant. Also, I think young people, 18 year, 19 year, even by 18, 19, I have interviewed some 14, 15-year-olds who are on LinkedIn. They say that they
Yeah.
have, they have stopped being on Insta. Insta is
Right.
handled if they are doing something, they want to project something that's handled by somebody else, their parents. But they said LinkedIn is so much better for networking, talking to people, learning.
Yeah. Like I even didn't know what networking is till I was 16. Like if I had started early, I would get more opportunities. Like yeah, make a LinkedIn account inside of an Instagram. That's like way better. You'll end up talking to people, and that's how you differentiate from yourself from the rest of the pack. Like in order to do be the best, you have to be able to do willing to do things that others aren't doing. Like that's how you put yourself distinguish yourselves from the others. So like yeah,
Absolutely. All right. Thank you so much, Sarvagya, for this wonderful interview. This is one of the best interviews, I would say, because we had so much depth of talking rather than only cubing. We had understood life, understood how young people can be happy and have fun and enjoy life without being on Insta or any other social media. So
right,
they have life beyond that.
right.
Great, great talking to you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for being here.
Okay, thank you so much for having me. It was amazing talking to you. And I hope someone like takes like one thing away from this. Will make my day.
Wow, lovely. Certainly, you will have many more people talking, and I hope and I wish people idolize and look up to Sarvagya, what he is as a person. So, thank you so much for being on my channel, and also to my viewers who are subscribing to my channel every week. We'll speak to a new youth and we'll get new perspectives, new opinions, and we'll discuss issues relating to youth on my channel. So, keep loving it, keep subscribing. And before I end, like I say every week, you have only one planet. Do your best, do a little bit of what you can do, start from your own home, and see the world change. Thank you so much.